You remember we talked about the Brandon yesterday? About the Nike and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. I think so.
No, I just wanted to tell you something. Now, remember I was saying about how if you buy, let's say a pair of Nikes or Reeboks, right, and you get the same, let's say you know the material and all that, right, and it's like you could get the same sneakers without the logo, but the same quality material, because everybody buys stuff because of the quality, right, but mainly because of the name, because it's a trusted brand, right. And I'm thinking that, you know, a lot of people get, you know, I remember going to school that my mother used to always, you know, she did her best, you know, she wanted to make sure I get the right kind of sneakers and stuff like that. And, you know, I always make sure I'm, I don't know, up to date or whatever. And I remember back then, it's like if you wore sneakers from last year, that's not good. It's like a religion thing in school. It's like you gotta wear a new pair of sneakers like in September when school starts.
Yeah.
But don't come to school looking like either A, you come to school with a reject pair, right? Or you come with last year's sneakers.
Where do we get this reject stuff?
I'm telling you.
It's a game we play, I guess.
Huh?
I guess it's just a game we play.
It is.
We give value to one name over the other.
But like I said, like everybody, because like you was telling me yesterday about, you know, like people buying a pair of Jordans for like what, $300 to $400, right? But those sneakers actually cost less than $1 in a sweatshop.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know, and I'm like,
they don't have a lot of overhead, so they don't have to pay.
No.
Like
and
hourly
Nike
hours like the United States or whatever.
Exactly. And I'm pretty sure it's like that now still, but
yeah.
I think back then I think people didn't know about that in the U.S. until I think Jordan, one of these basketball players visited these places and they were surprised. I don't know if it was something like that back then, and I think that's why the idea of sweatshop came in, and people, they get paid very little. They get paid very little to sew these sneakers together, for example. And Nike, for example, and Reebok and all whoever making a lot of money off of that. They see before they get to the U.S., a lot of people know that, before it gets to the U.S., you know, I don't know the entire process, but all I know is that they're paying for the name, they're paying for the stores like Foot Locker that holds these sneakers and all that. So that's why you're paying for $300 to $400. So when everybody get all egotistic about, oh, I'm wearing a $400 pair of sneakers, but then in actuality, the sneakers cost $1. Your Nike pair is $1.
You know what this points out, though? I know we started with clothes, but it points out money. It points out
money.
The idea
Yeah,
of
money. This
value.
is money.
Really
Money.
Value. Because I don't think money doesn't explain it. Value. It's like designers. You notice how designers.
Oh, designers, yeah. Designers, how they make basically, what? What are you talking about, the designers? You talking about?
Like, we talk about Nike, and that's big enough. But the idea of other designers, I'm not sure, are you familiar with the prices of some designers?
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking
like
about.
Thousands.
I know what you're talking about.
For a dress.
The designers, yes.
Or,
yes.
you know, like hundreds above the value. Like leather shoes, great. I don't even know what value is. But sometimes when you go to designers, that's when you really start to question, like,
Sure.
What the hell am I paying for?
I know.
Seriously. And then a lot of ideas come up, and it's just like, it's not the clothes, but the Nike is definitely within the line of that. But it's only a few $100s, and you kind of fool yourself, oh, it's good leather, or the design of the artist, maybe you're paying for because that's his fee. Okay, but then it's like, imagine your shoes is thousands of dollars. Like some female shoes and men's shoes, dress shoes, and these so-called designer brands.
Yeah.
It's like, what the? And people pay for these things. They look nice, but it's like, what is value? That's really the question that I'm left with. What is value?
I'm talking about, the thing is that we put value into things. Like it's like we could turn something that is not really worth anything, but we could just make it like that. There's no really hard rule into anything could be high value.
Right.
I think that it's a lot to do with high. What do you call it? What do you call that? Supply and demand. What do you think about that? Supply and demand.
I used to think that.
Yeah.
Well, supply and demand just means like, you know, people want something and you have it. That's fine. I mean,
and they raise the prices up, right?
But this is what I feel that you're saying, what you're getting at. It's these storylines, which I'll call celebrity, okay? Where
celebrities are brands. Celebrities are brands.
No,
anyway.
not people. Celebrity. This is the legend of the clothing. This is the story behind it.
Oh,
I don't know if you ever realize this with advertising and stuff. And a lot of designer brands, they don't even advertise. But anyway, it seems to be around it, surrounding it, either a mystique or mystery or some type of, like you say, exclusive story. I don't know, you didn't say this, but it feels like an exclusive story. Okay. Like, well, this is Italian made and handmade in 1940 to 1941.
Oh, yeah, you're right, the story.
Limited black, like rare.
Limited, rare, all that.
And we create these things, and it's like, okay. It's like we just seen somebody driving by with plywood. And it's like, you think, okay. And they have that in furniture too, where it's so expensive for furniture, like some type of chest, wooden chest. Yeah. And like, well, isn't it just wood? You know, isn't it just a tree? Don't we all have access to a tree? Could you figure out how to make a draw or get someone to make it, or for not thousands of dollars? Yes, you could. But then if your mind tries to justify why you're buying something, there's other stories that come with it. And I feel like the stories, at least that I tell myself, is these stories of limitation, rarity, you know, limited quantity stories.
So people believe in this illusion that there's a limit to something. So that way it's all about bragging rights. Oh wow, you're paying X amount of money because of bragging rights. Let's just say, right?
Yep.
Oh, I got the last one and da da da, right? I don't know, people.
And exclusivity. It's the same way like clubs. It's exclusivity.
Oh yes.
This is exclusive. Yes. We only open this list up a couple times a year.
Yeah.
To get this condo and this
You know
club.
what? People, I see this a lot. This pattern about, let's just say, I know it might be a little bit off topic a little bit, like a music artist. Someone, let's say a legend, right? Someone that retired, and someone said, "Oh, I'm back. I'm gonna play the show a few times.
Oh my God.
A few times a year." And everybody, boom, they buy tickets. Oh yeah, boom! I gotta get this ticket because this singer or whoever is gonna play this song or whatever, like twice a year, and I must buy it. And it's all psychological with that.
That's the exact.
It's the same. It's the exact
same thing. Creating it, and it's like I remember when I first heard about people retiring, I used to believe it, and it's like, oh, like it's the last thing, and you'll see the multitudes of money rushing to that box office or whatever. The Pacquiao, the main fight. Oh, he might not fight no more. Oh, whatever. Jay-Z's last album. And he's rapping all over the place right now.
Yeah, Jay-Z did that, right? Did he retire? Did he talk about he retired and he came back?
Yeah, and it's the same paradigm underneath. It don't matter what, like you say, it don't matter where you go. Singer, ball player, furniture, shoe line, anything. A list that never opened up, a condo community that never opened up to the public.
And now it's open. Create
the little lack scenario, usually including time. Time is running out. It's just like the store. Here's my last thing, I swear. My last example. It's just like the store.
Yeah.
Like, that's always going out of sale. It's always going out.
Oh yeah.
Always going out of business.
Out of business. Exactly. Going out of business soon, right?
Right.
I always see that, and I'm like, and I see that for years. I was like, when is this place gonna go out of business?
Yeah.
It's a strategy.
Creating a drama. But it's funny. You'll see that on one level, but then it's like you got to domino it to everything. It's just like, damn, like this is my whole way of being. And then when you realize your whole way of being, it's like the only way you can escape it is to be something totally different, because you'll think, oh, it's just one part. Like, oh, they just do that with the business. But it's like, no, it's like your whole realm is run by this idea of lack. And get it now. It's running out. You won't have it. You gotta fight. You gotta push through.
I always look at info commercials and all these other places like it's like limited time only. Like, why does it have to be limited? Let me ask you something.
We're only making a couple. Why is that?
I want. Yeah, I know.
Why can't you just keep making them?
Why is that most people?
But you can't blame them. It's the realm of time.
No. I know it's a realm. Yeah, no, it's a realm of time. But why? Okay, we talk about this all the time, but I still feel in my heart I have to ask this. Why is that a lot of people? I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of people love this idea of this drama of lack. I think a lot of people, I mean, first, before I even go further, why do you think people seem to be hooked onto this, get it before it's gone? Why is that?
I'm telling you, I mean, it's an inside job, meaning it's inwardly, it's in your heart that you assume these type of ideas, and it just blankets your world, your universe, so to speak. It's just one of the multi-levels and dimensions of awareness of reality that we live in. I'm seeing this as I'm speaking to you. Like, it's not just one thing, and it's not one human being getting smart and saying, oh, you know, I can see how this person is taking advantage of this. It's like it has to exist for you to take advantage of it. So if you realize that it is, if you realize that it is, then that's really all it takes. Then it's already happening. If you're aligned with the reality, then that's all that is necessary. So then you'll just exploit it and do it, and smart people will exploit it. You know, that are enjoying it.
Yeah.
Why not? Hey, you know, make ridiculous businesses and act like everything is, you know, limited. And they just exploit it. That's the realm they're at, and they're enjoying themselves. But if you want to get out of that realm, you have to see the existence of something different.
That's an illusion.
Right. And
people talk about it's a last
thing. The first thing to go is time.
You're right. So
because death is one of those things. So you can't just say, people just make up death.
That's in the same
and you believe
realm.
it.
You're right.
Right. You believe it. So you're like, okay, well, they can't be making grill those grill machines forever, because it's going to die eventually. You know what I mean? So it's just like, so it's kind of right in your mind. So it's like, you actually have to bring down another realm. You have to actually stare at another realm.
Yeah.
If you want to get out of that prison of lack and limited time. It's in everything we do. It feels like the Matrix. It's just like,
I just gotta call it out as it is. This might hurt somebody's ego, but I think it's like a lot of people by choice decide to be slaves in so many levels. I don't know. That's just my feeling. I mean, you slave to time. I fall into that sometimes too, but I have to quickly bounce out of that. You slave to time. You slave to lack of, I gotta get this before it's gone, or I need to buy this. Or it's the same thing when we talked about before about fitting into something like clubs and stuff like that. So I want to buy this brand. This is the last pair of, I know I'm not picking on Nike, but it's an example that this is the last pair of whatever, right? I gotta get that before it's gone, and that way I'm able to please whoever, and that's it. You know, it's just like, I don't know. I mean, I know people collectively are intelligent. I feel like a lot of people, I don't know how I say it, people act dumb. They do. They act dumb. But deep down inside, beneath all that, they're intelligent.
The funny thing is, it's like, I'm not sure if you're doing this, but I feel like you're looking for someone or something to hang why this is on. But
no, it's a spiritual path. It's all spiritual in that.
The thing is, I realized, the thing I realized though is that if it is, it just is, which is weird and extremely powerful at the same time. Like if you're observing something, it just is.
Yeah.
Like don't observe it. Like observe something else.
Yeah.
That's really what it is, because it runs so deep. Like the whole world, the world that we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's just reflected in everything you do. Even driving, like, oh, get here by a certain time. It's just, you cannot escape it, you know, unless you totally get out of the whole idea of lack in time. And then to say that, to balance that out again, there's nothing wrong with it. So if you're having a good time by literally having a good time.
You're right.
fine.
You're right. These things are suggested for you to slave the time, to get this product before it's gone, all that. Yeah, all that stuff is all suggested for people. But I still want to say that I feel that there's a certain layer of that individual act like unaware of it. Like, oh, I didn't know.
Oh,
it's actually gone.
Yeah, but that's part of the
game. It's actually gone.
That's part of the game.
People pretend like, oh, it's gone. I gotta get it before it's gone. But
yeah. That's part of the game of keeping that paradigm, because consciousness is vast. That's just tiny word.
Yeah, I know that.
This is just like one level game. This one video game.
But no, I want to say too before I forget that when somebody starts to question further and further, deeper, I say that someone decides to be mature spiritually. It has nothing. I say this in my clubs. Maturity has nothing to do with age, by the way. It's about what level you decide to be in.
When you're ready.
When you're ready to uncover the veil of marketing and whatever it is, right? That's what I'm saying about the sneakers early. Like, I look at, I understand people want to buy stuff for quality, right? I like buying things with good quality because, it will last long. So I'm like...
But that's the game.
No.
Even saying that something is quality and something isn't, I feel like that's the game. See, it's so, like, deep embedded in how we talk.
Check this out. I like, let's say I get the same designer sneakers as Reeboks, right? And I'll just like take the logo off. You get the same quality. Will people still buy it?
So that's the idea of blind taste test.
And people say, oh no, people, they're loyal to a brand, but it's the same material. You understand? This is not a reject. This is not a reject. This is not some fake imitation stuff. This is the actual same material as you get. Will your 13-year-old kid wear it? Oh no, most 13-year-olds won't wear it because they want to wear it with a Reebok logo on the side.
Now you seem like you want to know why.
No, I do know why. It is about knowing. You gotta. I know it's about you rediscovering who you are. All these things are lessons about rediscovering who you are. Are these things gonna make or break you? That's the thing. Do you need these things? Do you need to wear these things to tell you who you are, to define you? I'm not saying wearing these things is bad. I mean, people can buy whatever they want. The thing is the energy you put into something. Okay? Yeah, the energy that you put into something. If you want to wear something that you feel good, but if you're wearing something that in your heart, and your heart of hearts now, okay, that you feel like it defines you, that's something that people have to check out for themselves. It's the same thing like I said before last year, that people buy makeup products and stuff like that, or other stuff, right? And are you buying that because you're saying to yourself, I don't look attractive enough, so I gotta buy that, so in order for me to look good? I mean, if that's the case, again, I think people need to have a little spiritual talk with themselves, or some soul searching or something.
It's all a game.
I'm just telling you.
So like you said, it is half knowing and half I don't know. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
That's consciousness. But for you to be in one of the rooms, or so-called many mansions of consciousness, is just one mansion, and it's a game. And from consciousness level, it is fun. So it's no love loss, literally.
No, it is. It is.
You're sinking yourself, your love, who you are, your invisible self. We are actually into this moment. So imagine that this is better than that. White is better than dark. There's a light and there's a dark. We heard the story. In the beginning of the game, that's really what it is. And that you're creating from a void. So you're existing in a void, but you're creating, you're projecting. This is like a TV show, basically. A major, it's all a game.
You know this reminds me of, remember that hat? You remember that hat that you have? It's like it looks like a Mickey Mouse hat.
2 pom-poms.
What do you call that?
2 pom-poms.
2 pom-poms. You remember you wore that? You just order it, and then you flick through on the internet. Beyonce had the same one, like you had.
Yeah.
And it says "Get the Look."
Yeah.
I'm like, oh snap! And you laughed about it.
That happens to me a lot, and I'm sure that happens to a lot of people. And it's just like you're like, okay.
But a lot of yeah, no. But a lot of people say, oh my gosh, I gotta get it because whatever. And I'm like, I look at this See, I look at all this again, spiritually, psychologically, right? So I'm a celebrity. I'm considered a brand. All right. I'm not a being. I'm just a brand. So it is. I'll tell like that. Get the look. But then you have people wore that before this person wore it. I mean, doesn't make no sense, right?
Yes.
I mean,
that's a part of the same delusion.
It's
that
the
there is
same,
actually a source, a physical source of ideas.
So you need to wear them because
there is no physical source of ideas. That's what I feel like. Even if you think, oh, it just came to me, who gave it to you then?
Wow.
That's it. Like, you know, we like to believe, oh, this is my book. This is my idea. Well, we do play that game very well, and then you go, well, who's giving us ideas? And then it points to an invisible structure, because who's this God? Who's this self? Who's this voice in my head? Why did I have the same idea as this person seems to have on my head? I didn't physically open my mouth and tell them I was wearing a 2-pom-pom hat. You know, so that's when it becomes in a realm of unseen and spiritual. Again, I'm pointing back to the reemergence with void. Yeah. With the stillness of who you really are. So it's like those are the game changers. Those are the looming game over scenarios that you go, that's weird. You know, you start scratching your head. You know, like, I didn't say anything. Like, why do they have the same hat? For me, I see more synchronicity in when things like that happen. But I see what you're saying also about
I noticed when I start seeing that keyword, get the look, and I mentioned this in my other clips, it's like I know a lot of people see this.
Don't you see that it's just a commercial version again? We talked about this before.
I know that, but
it's like trying to sell the game.
No, I know that, but there's people. A lot of people feel like it's like I was telling you before about bragging rights or whatever. So you buy those two, what do you call it, those 2 pom-poms like Beyonce, right? You think that she's the first one to get it, right? Mm-hmm. For example, right? And you're gonna get that, and then your friends, let's say for example, oh, we get that. Oh, I got it because Beyonce's wearing it. Oh my gosh! So you're trying to get that, you're trying to replicate that experience because she's wearing it. So that makes you something because you wore it because she wore it. Or I'm wearing a pair of Jordan because I'm gonna jump like Mike.
It's the same.
Back in the day. Right. Back in the days.
Strangely, we put it to people, human beings now, but it's the same.
I'm just calling it out. I love it.
It's the same.
I just love uncovering the veil of all the nonsense we covered.
It's the same exact idea.
Of course.
As the Nike shoe and the Payless and the and the dollar sneaker shoe or whatever the case is. It's the same idea. It's the same play. Like, okay, I wore it, and now quote unquote Beyonce wore it. It's just like, what does that mean? It means absolutely nothing from the realm of consciousness where everything is the same within the physical realm. It's like there's no one being over the other. There's no one sneaker over the other. There's no one designer shoe over the other.
It's all
but
ego.
For some reason,
it's all ego.
Half of it, right? Half of you believes that. There is. You want to have a nice house, whatever that means. You don't want to have a busted house, whatever that means. So we keep cataloging
Some people like to have
by
a busted
nature.
House. Some people like to have a busted house.
So again, you want to know why. Yeah. Why are we cataloging people? Why are we cataloging things as one over the other? Because no
a lot
reason.
Of people one thing I could point out is because a lot of it's suggested. Like that's my model. Everything is suggested. These things is just it's all laid out because we set this up for ourselves to find ourselves. You understand?
Game.
It is a game. See, the reason why these marketing things don't work with me because I know who I am. I don't need to wear. I like Nikes, but I don't have to wear it.
But you'll say that, but then you might take it to another idea. You might say, "Oh, I'm not getting these no-frill bread, or whatever the case is, or it's cheap bread, or it might not be bread." You might go somewhere else and go, "Man, this material."
I buy non-brand. I buy non-brand foods and stuff like that.
Something else, and you might say, "Well, this is cheap and this and that." What I'm saying is, I think it goes beyond just price of something, because you took it to humans, and that's when it becomes
about
obvious
prices. Yeah.
When you take it to humans, because it's like human is a human is a human is a human. Like, just because your name is something That doesn't make no sense. Like, tell me how you're not human and you're higher than me. I dare you to show me. I don't understand that. That's when everybody has their thing where the reality starts to crack. The so-called reality.
According to the ego.
Better than.
According to the ego, because you bear that name. Let's say, I'm not picking. I have nothing against these people we talk about, but let's just say Beyonce, right? Because what she is. You can never be that. It's childish thing that we brought into adulthood. You would never be her, and whatever access she has, and da 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 da. So if you look,
it's true, but it's false. It's
but
just
if you look
a game,
at it,
so.
But if you look at it, it's also set up for people. How I put it, if people believe deep down inside they have very little value of themselves, they can easily get sucked into the game. If you look at yourself as you're not even worth 2 cents. You're worth nothing, right? Yeah, you're gonna find yourself buying into the marketing scheme every single time. But again and again, it's all suggested. You don't have to buy these things. You don't have to get the look stuff, okay, or whatever. Like I said, I just like people to empower themselves and really have a good appreciation. I really believe that in my heart. I do. It's very important. But it's all a game. When people realize who they are, right, through and through, they're not going to fall into the stuff. They're not, because it's like they're gonna say, you know what, these things serve a purpose for a time, but I don't need it. And that's the thing. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not wrong having these things. I mean, I always say that, but I just like to call things as it is. Uncover the veil and just tell people, look, if you want to do these things, okay. If you're gonna go about it in a different energy, that I don't feel good about myself and I need to buy these things and all that. That's what you're saying to yourself in your head. Then that's something different, and that's the only thing I can say on that. It's very important to know who you are. It really is,
Yeah, I feel like when the soul is ready, it'll ascend. So it's good that we talk about these things, because I feel like it's chipping away at this realm, which, again, not bad or good, just feels like something good to me.
Yeah.
Obviously, in this level of my walk right now.
Sure.
But when the soul is ready, it will release itself. So something to worry about. I really don't like this realm or whatever. Just know that your continuing awakening is soothing you out of the realm. It's soothing you out of that. You're seeking, or you're at least showing yourself that what the realm is that you're observing is about, because you're in it. Whatever you're seeing, whatever you're a witness to, you are part of it. And you just be squirming within yourself, trying to get out, trying to merge with all there is again, or whatever, or something better, or whatever that is, another realm, that feels more freeing. But it's all for a reason, and it's happening exactly as it should. That's all I'm saying. So
everything happens. Everything has a purpose, regardless of the most craziest thing in this dimension. Everything has a purpose. But again, I feel like the more freeing thing is that I know who I am, and I am not a slave to anything. If I choose to be a slave to whatever, then I'm getting something out of it. I'm getting something. It's a spiritual path that I'm choosing to be a slave. So other than that, I know we talked about a lot of stuff. So I really, it's been a good conversation. I really like it. Okay. All right.